What is going on, everybody? Happy freaking Monday. Happy last Monday of 2024. Woo! What's up, Jose? Alexis? Oh, Alexis is looking good today. We got the rainbow here to the pot of gold. I believe it. I believe. What's up, Justin Jones? Kristen, Ada E, Paige, Morgan. What's up, Morgan? Bethany, Ryan, Kayla Irby's on here today. Good to see you, Kayla. Ernest, what's up, my dude? Ernest, I gotta respond to you. You sent me an email. I gotta respond to you still. I saw it and I just haven't had time to do the do for you, but I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you.
It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate it. I just wanted to come on because I haven't been on for a while. And I see you guys, it's been the holidays. I see all the holiday photos. I'm like, okay, I have to come on and
Let's
say
go.
hello and
Let's
say
go.
it's been a big help. So I had to
Appreciate
come back and, feed from the trough for a little bit.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, guys. Welcome to the Road to a Million call. So, if that's what you were looking for, congratulations. You showed up to the right spot today. Oh my gosh, is that Ryan Gardner on here? Oh my gosh, what's up, Ryan? What's up, dude? Cool, guys. Yeah. So that's the Road to a Million call. And so this is a fun call. We've been doing this now for 42 straight weeks, and so today's going to be a little bit different. So I'm gonna take you back, take you way, 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 way back. So that way it makes sense. Because if you just come in here and you see that we built $1 million business that profits $200,000 a year, you're like, cool, but I can't do that until you understand where I came from and where Katie came from, and you'll quickly realize that if we can do it, oh my gosh, 99% of you guys in here are smarter than me for sure. Katie's actually pretty smart. But 99% of you guys are definitely smarter than me, right? And so the irony, though, is that it's my ignorance that has got me here, and my willingness to accept the stupidity has allowed me to figure out what I need to figure out in order to actually continue to grow as a human being, which allowed me to actually grow this business. And so, without further ado, again, if you guys are brand new, welcome to the party. You guys get a special treat today. I'm going to do a presentation, and that way you guys have a little bit of clarity on how to actually build a big old cleaning business that kicks off lots of profit that you don't have to work in. What? This can't be true. Katie, tell everybody this is a farce. This is a farce. This cannot be true. This cannot be true.
The gold at the end of that rainbow.
It's the gold at the end of Alexa's rainbow. I love it. I love it. Cool. And so if you guys want to get a lot of value from this, two things. Turn your videos on. See your smiley faces so we can actually get to connect with you. We can become friends. We started as virtual friends. Eventually, we become in-person friends. And then secondly, engage in the chat. So I got the chat pulled up. So I see Paige and Ryan, Ada E, Jose, Katie. You guys are in the chat. So when we're doing this presentation, like be active, be in the chat, ask questions. If you do have questions, post in the chat, and Katie or Jose or Alexis or all the other smart people in here can help you with questions. And so if you guys are cleaning business owners, like you guys are in the room with people who have successful cleaning businesses. And so if you want a successful cleaning business, by golly, you're in the right room with people who are doing things that you want. So like get to know those people. Cool. Thank you. Thank you guys. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to do something really crazy, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to walk you guys through this little presentation. Okay. Let's do this thing here. Give me 1 second to get this up and going. Okay, Katie, can we see this? Can we see it? Holla. All right, guys, welcome to the party. Thank you guys for engaging too. It's so much more fun when people play. Love it when people play. Okay. So, how to build a $1 million cleaning business that profits $200,000 without having to clean, sell, or hire. How many of you think that sounds difficult? You are correct. It is very hard. Anyone want to know what it takes? Who wants to know what it takes? Come on. Who really wants to know? You want to know what it takes? It takes being told no 1,000,000 times. It takes being disappointed 1,000,000 times. It takes making 1,000,000 mistakes. You want to know how I know that? I started my first business on December 16th, 2013. It's over a decade ago. It was a personal training gym. I knew I was going to be a millionaire. And I got introduced to stage number 1, business ownership, uninformed optimism. And after 3 years, I was not a millionaire. In fact, I made $135,000 in 3 years. Yeah. I had a big realization. This was going to be way harder than I expected. And so then I discovered stage number 2, informed pessimism. And so I made $135,000 in revenue in 3 years. And my net profit, $1,620 in 3 years. I was profiting $10 per week. So much for becoming a millionaire, thought to myself. And then I got to feel the bottom of stage number 3 of the Valley of Despair. And so some of you guys might know this feeling. Some of you guys might be here right now. Maybe the reason you're on this call is because you're trying to figure out how to get out of here. And so if you were like me, felt trapped. I didn't have a plan B. Not my mom, not my dad. I didn't have a rich uncle. No one was coming to save me. There was only one person who kept me from quitting. And that was Katie. She was the one who watched me struggle for years. She was my first follower. She believed in me before anybody else did, even myself. And she knew what I didn't. Because you guys want to know what I knew? I knew that I knew nothing about business. And I wanted nothing more than to quit. But the benefit of hitting rock bottom is that you got to go somewhere, you got to go up. And so I was fortunate enough to make it to stage number 4, which was informed optimism, because I had no choice. I had to believe. And so I began searching for answers, believe that there had to be a way. And so one day, while I was working real hard, how many of you guys like work real hard scrolling on Facebook? That's what I was doing. And a Facebook ad stopped me. And I'll never forget it. It's like, I'll fill your gym in 30 days. For free. And I was so desperate that I believed it. And so I put in my information, just hoping. You guys want to know what I found? I actually found a successful gym owner. I found somebody who actually filled 6 of his own gyms up, and he actually had helped other gym owners fill their gyms as well. And I optimistically hopped on a sales call with him. And he explained how his business system worked. And it made sense. I was like, oh my gosh, I get it. That totally makes sense. I see now. And then he asked me to give him all my money. In exchange, he would give me access to his business system. And my response, what if it doesn't work? And his response, very quickly. I'll fly out there and I will do it for you. And he said it with such conviction that I couldn't do anything else but believe him. And so I gave that stranger from Facebook all my money, all my time, and all my commitment. And in exchange, he gave me his business system. And probably most importantly, he personally helped me implement the business system. And so from April 1st, 2016 to April 1st, 2017, leading up to this decision, the business had grossed $73,000 and it netted $709. And then 1 year after implementing this business system, from April 1st, 2017 to April 1st, 2018, the business grew to $342,000 and it netted $71,000. It was life-changing. Still, till this day, one of the most life-changing moments. But it wasn't the money that was life-changing. It was that access to a business and that actually freaking worked. So rewarding. Additionally, what I didn't even realize I got out of it was I'd acquired skills to actually run the business system. And lastly, the relationship. The relationship that I got on that day is the reason why I'm talking to you guys today. And so anyone curious on who that successful gym owner was? Yeah. It was a young Alex Hormozi. And so with a business system, with skills to be able to run that business system and relationship with somebody who was very successful, I finally got to get a taste of stage number 5. Success. And with that success, I realized that it was another relationship that I really needed to have a long tail in success. And so I leveraged the little bit of success I had, and I convinced Katie to quit her job. To go all in on this business with me. And from 2017 to 2019, we were focused on one thing, and that was creating financial freedom. One of the pivotal moments in our relationship is when we got married. We made a decision not to throw a big fancy wedding, not to spend thousands of dollars and honestly tons of energy, time, and attention on a wedding. Instead, we decided to focus on the thing that was going to get us freedom to have the marriage and the family that we really wanted. And so we got married in our living room. Just me and Katie. And Kobe. And the ordainer and his wife as a witness. And every single week from 2017 to 2019, we tracked every single expense. We classified them as assets or liabilities. Assets took money out of our pocket. Liabilities put money back in our pocket. Or excuse me, assets put money in our pocket, and liabilities took money out of our pocket. And if we had an expense that was a liability, we got rid of it. We only invested in assets, things that would put more money in our pockets. And we just had one focus, was to stack cash. And we began using that cash that we stacked for those 2 years to start buying real estate in 2019. And so we bought our very first investment property in May of 2019, 1109 Cardinal Drive. We put 25% down on this property, and we officially became landlords for the first time. And then in August 2019, we bought our second investment property. It was 13 Sky Drive. We put down 20% down on this property. And then on the last day of 2019, we bought our third property that year. This was actually a 2-unit. So we actually lived in 1 unit, and then we started short-term rentaling the second unit. And so we actually only have 2 kids, as you can see. And so we actually had 4 bedrooms in this house. And one of the bedrooms started out as a little home gym / office. And we spent a little bit more money on a remodel. And we remodeled that 4th bedroom into a studio, and we turned it into a short-term rental. And we now had 2 short-term rentals, which created a new problem. Cleaning. And so we began hiring cleaning companies. And so, you know what we got? We got inconsistent communication. We got no-showed a couple times. And we had little to no accountability from any of these cleaning companies. And so we ended up cleaning it ourselves. And so I asked Katie a question. I said, Katie, what do you think about starting a cleaning business? And she agreed. And so on October 19th, 2020, Bozeman 5-Star Cleaning was born. And so from October 19th, 2020 to October 19th, 2021, this little cleaning business, it grew to $138,000 and netted $44,000 in its very first year. I was like, dang, that's actually pretty good. Considering that we still owned a gym, we were still buying real estate, we were managing our long-term rentals, and we were also managing our short-term rentals. Right? And then in year number 2, it grew and it grew and it grew. And it grew to $364,000. And it netted $91,000. And I remember telling Katie, I actually think this could be $1 million business. Now, it had been 8 years since I became a business owner back in December of 2013. And I had never built $1 million business. But now, I had the 1 million mistakes. And so the first thing I did is I just gave the fitness business to one of my trainers. His name was John. And he still runs that business to this day. We stopped buying real estate. In fact, we began selling some of our problem real estate. We hired property managers. And the cleaning business, it got 100% of our attention. Can anyone guess what happened when the cleaning business got 100% of our attention? In year number 3, from October 19, 2022 to October 19, 2023, the business grew to $1 million and it netted $219,000. And neither Katie or I performed a single clean, did a single sale, or a new hire. It took 9 years and 1 million mistakes. But I had finally built $1 million business. But I'm pretty skeptical by nature. And so I was like, it's probably a fluke. I don't know if we could do it again, right? One out of 9, it's not a good percentage. But in year number 4, the business grew and it grew and it grew. And it grew to 1.2 million. And this year, it netted 227,000. And the unique part about this year, though, was that Kate and I didn't even live in the same state as our cleaning business. Now, anyone know this guy? Anyone know this smiling face? Yeah. Who would like to hear the story from Alex's perspective? Anybody?
I had a gym owner friend of mine
Can you hear it?
from many years ago. He became a digital lawyer. He was a licensee, awesome guy. And he started, he had a couple locations, and his wife started a cleaning business because they got into Airbnbs because he started making money in the gym. So he started investing, and he realized he actually liked real estate better than he liked the gym, which is awesome, great. And so they started a cleaning company to clean houses for the Airbnbs. But then they realized they got in the Airbnb community, and they also got in just like that area. And they're like, you know what, we could probably just sell cleaning to other people. And so this was interesting. I had dinner with him, and he was saying, I was like, so what's your LTV to CAC? He's like, oh, dude, CAC's like $25. And I was like, what? He's like, oh, getting customers in cleaning, not a problem. And he was like, this is so different from the gym business, because the gym business, getting the customers, you have to arm wrestle Susie for an hour to get her to say, yes, she's going to stop eating crap and start coming to the gym 3 times a week. But if you just say, hey, I'm going to clean your stuff and you don't have to do anything, not a very hard sale. And so he said, the real problem that I'm having right now is actually getting people to do the cleaning, right? He's actually getting people who speak English, who don't steal, who show up on time and do all that and like do a good job consistently. He said, the problem, that's actually the problem in the business. And so it was this great moment for me, because I love finding out what is the real business behind the business. And so if you're in the cleaning business, you're not in the cleaning business, you're in the recruiting and training business. You have to learn how to.
It was September of 2022 that we had dinner with Alex and Layla. And it was at that dinner that Alex and Layla told us what business we were actually in. So you guys are not in the cleaning business. What business we were really in? We were in the business of recruiting and training teammates to deliver a 5-star experience. And so what is recruiting? Okay. Recruiting is the process of finding new teammates. Now, what does the ideal teammate look like? The ideal teammate wants to win, plus wants the business to win. Now, I refer to these ideal teammates as stars. Okay. So a star is an acronym, right? And so the S in star stands for serve. We began to recruit teammates who acted in the best interest of the clients. The T in star stands for teamwork. We began to recruit teammates who acted in the best interest of their fellow teammates. The A in star stands for accountable. We began to recruit teammates who took responsibility for their actions. And the R in star stands for reliable. We began to recruit teammates who followed through on their commitments. Okay. Now, here's the key. You don't create stars. You find them. How do you find them? More money plus more job equals more job applicants. More job applicants equals more phone interviews. More phone interviews equals more Zoom interviews. More Zoom interviews equals more onboardings, and more onboardings equals more stars. So to put it very simply, you find stars through volume. Now, once we could recruit, the next step is training. So what is training? So training is the process of teaching new stars how to deliver a 5-star experience. And so what do new stars need to learn in order to deliver a 5-star experience? 4 standards. Okay. So here are the 4 standards. Show up 5 minutes before scheduled appointments, greet the clients with a smile, remove the dirt with a checklist, and ensure clients are happy by completing a walkthrough. And so how do new stars learn how to perform these 4 standards? We have trainers who teach these new stars how to perform the 4 standards at every single clean. Okay. And so our trainers have a framework that they use to teach, and it's called do it for them, do it with them, do it on their own. And so I'll give you an example of how the trainers, they teach the new stars how to do a client walkthrough. The first thing they do is they do it for them. So the trainer performs a final walkthrough with the client while the new star observes. The second time, they do it with them. They allow the new star to perform a final walkthrough with the client while the trainer observes. And then finally, they do it on their own. The new star performs a final walkthrough with the client unaccompanied by the trainer. This framework is used to teach every behavior a new star needs to learn in order to deliver a 5-star experience. Now, how do we measure if a 5-star experience has been delivered? Very simply, 5-star reviews. Now, recruiting. Got it. Training. Got it. But there was still one missing piece. Retaining. And so what is retaining? Retaining is a process of keeping stars. And so before we talk about how we keep stars, who wants to know how to lose them? Who wants to know how to get them to go away? How to get them to repel all these stars? You want to know how to figure it out? Because a lot of you guys do this. So here you go. If you make a star's job painful, if you make a star's job threatening, if you make a star's job frustrating, if you make a star's job humiliating, if you make a star feel like they are in trouble, they will leave your ass. And they'll go find somebody who makes them feel better. Now let's talk about how you retain stars. You retain stars by making their job rewarding. You retain stars by making their job encouraging. You retain stars by making their job enjoyable. You retain stars by making their job progressing. If a star feels appreciated, they will remain working hard for you. And so in March of this year, I can say that because we have 2 more days left of this year, I asked Katie another question. I said, what do you think about starting another cleaning business? This time in a different state. The state we were actually living in. And Katie agreed. And so on March 8th, 2024, Mesa 5-Star Cleaning was born. This location is in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a much different market than our first location in Bozeman, Montana. And so from March 8th, 2024 to December 7th, 2024, Mesa 5-Star Cleaning has spent $3,367 to find job applicants. And we have got 2,243 job applicants. We've done 402 phone interviews. We've done 139 Zoom interviews, and we've hired 66 cleaners. And we currently have 18. Volume, my friends, volume. And as of Friday, this location has 328 Google reviews. That's 8 reviews per week on average. That's more than 1 review every single day. Training. It works. And so, what we really care about, though, is the monies. So month number 1, March 2024, this location did $2,952. Month number 2 did $14,464. Month number 3 did $20,948. Month number 4 did $23,790. Month number 5, $29,000. Month number 6, $37,000. Month number 7, $42,000. Month number 8, $53,000. Month number 9, $56,000. And month number 10, TBD, also known as AKA to be determined. For all my acronym people out there. So, I have a true appreciation for hard work. People who I respect the most, I don't know how they work that hard. I really don't. Very much appreciate hard work. Curious, how many of you guys work hard? Put your hands up. Every single one of you guys. Even if you don't have your videos on, put your hands up. If you work hard, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Come on. You guys aren't in this business if you guys don't work hard. How many of you guys have $1 million businesses? if you put your hand down, you're working hard on the wrong things. This was one of the million mistakes that I made. And it's one of the easiest problems to solve. You want to know how to stop working hard on the wrong things and start working hard on the right things? You get a relationship with somebody who has achieved what you want. Get a relationship with somebody who has helped others achieve what you want. So I just showed you, Katie and I have done this a couple times. Do it again. We'll keep doing it. It's fun. I enjoy it. But you see people like Michelle Dale, who's inside our coaching program, within 2 weeks of starting her business, she's hired 3 part-time employees, has 15 recurring clients. She's starting off really well. I'm attracting the clientele I was hoping to attract. Thank you to everyone who's helped me out. Logan and Katie, I'm so grateful for you guys, all the work you guys do. Jocelyn, she came out. She got to see us in person, in the flesh. She knows we exist. She touched our face. She went like this. She's like, okay, you guys real. You guys real, right? She got so much clarity on what it takes to build a $1 million cleaning business. Now she has actionable steps to get there. Beyond grateful to be part of the community. Chris, sorry, the screenshot's not very good, but yeah. Chris wanted to introduce himself. He's like, they're in Missouri, operating since June of 2024, so less than 6 months, and they reached $20,000 per month already. They have 7 employees. I'd like to give a shout out to Katie and Logan, everyone else in the group. So it's cool to see other people being successful with the system. Tyler Stowers, he had a PR in October, 23,000 a year ago. Before that, he did 10,000, and the year before that, he wasn't even in business. So it's cool to see. Jamie Poole hit $29,000 in November. A year ago, she was doing 5,000. So progress, my friends, progress. Alyssa, they came out to Deck In today as well. They touched Katie's face and were like, okay, real, you are a real human. And they were doing about 10,000-ish a month, 10, 11,000 a month. And yeah, now they're doing over 30,000, right? It's cool to see. Marie Jed, stud. Yeah, she did almost $42,000 in October. And I think that was a $10,000 a month PR. I think before the year before that, I can't remember what she put in there, but I think it was like she was doing between around 20-ish thousand. So almost doubled her business, which was cool to see. Renee Krause. Yeah. Renee Krause she's been holding consistently at that 43, 44, 45 mark. But last year she was doing 26,000. And Renee Krause has been in business for over a decade. So it's cool to see. Cool to see progress from other people. And Lucas and Jessica. Yeah, wild story. But in October, they hit 70,000. Last October, they finished out at 35,000. So definitely a nice little double. Nice little double. And yeah, this month, it's gonna be more for them, which is really cool to see. And then we have Kayla Irby, who posted that she had a weekly PR of 30,000. Weekly, guys, weekly, not monthly, weekly. So I'll do the math if you guys can't math, which is okay, because as you get bigger business, you have to learn bigger math problems. But 30,000 times 4.33 is about $120,000. So yes, Kayla's business does over $100,000 a month, and that is pretty cool to see as well, considering that I think last year she was doing 65 or 70,000. So a nice double as well, which is cool to see. And so the reason why you want a relationship with successful people like I just showed you, right? People like Kate and I, is because successful people know what you need to work on. They can help see what you can't see. Now, you want to know how to get a relationship with successful people? This is actually really simple. It's very, very simple. This took me a long time to understand. This might be the best thing in the presentation. when I put this on paper, I was like, oh, this is really good. Okay. So like, if anything, screenshot this, take a picture of this, write this thing down. This will change your life. You want to know how to get a relationship with successful people? Help them reach their goals. How? Right? How? How do you help them reach their goals? That should be the next question you ask. Like, I want to help a successful person reach their goals. Yes. Now, how? Work for them. Help them build their business. Help them build their asset. That's the number one way. Work for them. The second way, work with them. Give them money so they can pay attention to you, so they can guide you. Let them mentor you. Let them have a little piece in your success. Give them the feel goods. Use their system. Follow it. That helps them reach their goals as well.